In season 5.5, I climbed from Silver 1 to GM2, and so in this video, I want to share with you how to escape the trenches of these lower ranks and how to actually get good at the game quickly. So definitely stick around to the end because this video is going to be full of stuff that's really going to help you hit your rank goals, and it's stuff that most other Rivals creators don't really talk about. So first I want to start by talking about what I consider to be this game's fundamentals. And everything in this video is of course my opinion. I'm not the best player in the world, this is just what worked for me. So these, in my opinion, are the game's fundamentals, the different core categories you can improve in. So you have mechanics, which for the most part is your aim, but it's also things like combos if you play people like Spidey or BP, for example. There's ability and ult usage, there's positioning, there's target selection, and finally there's game sense. So things like knowing how to create space as a tank or knowing when to go in for a dive. This is kind of just your decision making in game. And so to actually improve at this stuff, there's three main tools that I use. The first and the most important one is learning objectives. All a learning objective is the thing that you're actively trying to get better at. You obviously need to improve at all these things, but you can really only focus on one thing at a time because our brains are really inefficient at multitasking. And you may say, oh, but I'm multitasking when I'm playing the game, so surely I can get better at multiple things at once. But really when you're playing, what you're doing is you're relying on habits. You're not sitting there manually thinking, oh, I'm gonna move here, then place my crosshair here, then click this ability. No, you're relying on habits, which doesn't really take much focus. But if you're trying to change your habits, then that's something you actively have to focus to do. So that's why I recommend just having one at a time. So let's say you want to work on ability usage. Say something like Groot's E, which is this big wall. Every time you have the ability, you want to be thinking, how should I use this here? And that way over time, you can start building better habits and you'll start using it better without thinking about it. So okay, now we have learning objectives so that we're thinking when we play the game, but how do we make sure this is actually helping us improve? And that's where VOD reviews come in. Now stay with me for a second. I know you're probably like, I'm not trying to sit here and watch a VOD for half an hour like Tom Brady watching film for the Super Bowl. And I agree, I'm telling you, you should not do that. Most creators I see talk about VOD reviews have this mindset that you're supposed to go in and solve this one game of Marvel Rivals. Like you're supposed to go in and break down every single situation in the game. You're gonna analyze every pixel of every frame of the game and see how you could have played it perfectly. I approach reviews completely differently, and most of my reviews are less than a minute long, and some of them are even only 15 seconds long, and I still get a ton of value from them. Okay, so what I do, and this comes back to learning objectives. So say you're working on ult usage, right? After a game, you go into the VOD and you look at one of your ults and you ask yourself, okay, was this a good ult? If not, then how could I have used it better? So maybe you should have baited out an ability first, or maybe you should have made sure your team was in a position to follow up. Or let's say, for example, you're working on your aim. Go to one or two fights in the game and look at how your aim was. And maybe you notice that your tracking is very jittery and you need to make it smoother. So you keep that in mind for your next game. And that's literally it. You pop open the VOD, you get your one or two takeaways, and you move on to the next game. The idea here, and again, this comes back to habits, is to build up all this experience by breaking down all these different situations and all these different games so that when you're in game thinking about your learning objective, you'll be like, oh, I've seen this situation before, and you'll start making these better plays automatically without having to think that much. Now you may be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but I'm gold. How the fuck am I supposed to know what great positioning or great ult usage looks like? And that's where the third tool comes in. So that's gonna be watching high elo players. So all you have to do is go onto YouTube or Twitch and find Celestial Plus players who play the same character as you. So when you're trying to improve, for example, your positioning and you're trying to figure out what does good positioning look like on my character, you have something to compare against and you have something to use as an example. So those are the main three tools I use to improve at the game. But I also want to talk a little bit about mindset as well, because honestly, if you don't have the right mindset towards climbing, you're going to have a miserable experience and you're going to end up like one of these toxic, whiny people who are always complaining about their teammates and shit. You need to take complete accountability for whether or not you're climbing. If you are not climbing, then that is solely your fault. And you may say like, but I'm getting these complete EOMM demons on my team. I'm getting these Spideys that are going 5 and 17. I'm getting these support players who are holding Q for the entire game. And guess what, bro? You're gonna have games where your team plays bad, and you're also gonna have games where your team plays good. On average, people are gonna play at the level of your rank. If you're gold, people on average are going to be playing like gold players. So the only thing that's gonna make a difference is you. If you are consistently playing above your rank, then you will climb. You're not gonna win every single game, but you'll win more than you lose, and that's really all you need to do. So just focus on your own gameplay. Don't waste energy worrying about your team's mistakes, and you're gonna improve so much faster than the average player who doesn't think like this. Thank you guys for watching to the end of this video. I really believe that if you apply the stuff in here, you're gonna start improving really quickly. And I got like 3 subscribers, so if you drop a like, if you drop a sub, that's gonna be huge for me. Let me know in the comments what you think and what types of videos y'all want to see from me. I'll be dropping gameplay videos, but I'll also drop more educational stuff if y'all like videos like this. So let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.